All right, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to get all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Hawashai, Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, salutation, the hopeful elect. That's pushing the word truth and sincerity. All right. All right, this is Yeshua Kabar with a quick lesson, from the Wisconsin branch. You know, what we got to do is, mainly continue to fight to stand this truth. And that's what the Lord, require of us to do. All right. Stand His truth and continue to fight. All right. So I'm going to go to Jude 1:1. It says, Jude, the servant of Yahweh Shai Mashiach and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by the Most High, the Father, and preserved in Yahweh Shai Mashiach and called. It says, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. It says, beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith. All right. Contend for the faith. That's the main key. We got to contend for the faith, which was once delivered unto the saints. Okay. Who are the saints? The Israelites. All right. Starting with the elect. Okay. Now, we're going to get into that word contend, and contend, we got to be more diligent. All right. We got to be more diligent in His faith and His truth. So I'm going to go into that word contend real quick.
Strong's G 1864. Epagonizomai. Epagonizomai.
Epagonizomai, right? It says to struggle for, earnestly to contend for. Salakia. To struggle for, earnestly contend for. All right. Let's look at the G75 real quick. I like to read the metaphor. Matter of fact, let me read the metaphor real quick. It said to contend, struggle with difficulties and dangers. Okay, so when you come in this truth, man, we got to continue to struggle. Struggle. There's a lot of brothers, struggle spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no cakewalk. You know what I'm saying? This is not it's not an easy walk in the park, man. All right, we got to keep on striving with difficulties. Brothers go through, certain situations, man. And plus, man, we almost out of here too, man. And the spirit is basically turning up a couple notches, man, because understand, we are entering into martial law, Jacob's trouble. All right. Because when Jacob's troubles come, that's when our faith be tested, and you got ICE, out here, getting that jig, getting that, all these people out here, man. And, brothers got their personal lives too, man. They struggle with their personal lives. They're going through their difficulties in their personal lives as well. But it's all a fight. It's all a fight. You got these demons, these wicked ass demons out here, man. Plotting against the prophets, man. It's all a continuous fight. Brothers going through ailments, bad ailments too, man. Like, body aches, colds, flus, all this stuff is part of the fight. Okay. Your family turning against you. You know what I'm saying? Getting scoffed at. It's all a fight, man. All right. Satan be jumping on people, man, and trying to get at you and stuff like that. All that stuff's a fight. Okay. I'm gonna read the Strong's definition real quick. It says to struggle literally to compete for a prize, that prize, the kingdom of heaven. It says figuratively to contend with the adversary. with an adversary, or genitive case to endeavor to accomplish something. Well, we're kind of trying to accomplish what? Accomplish this work, doing this work, getting delivered when Yahweh shall return. Fight, labor. All right, firmly strive. So that's part of our walk right there, man. Because continue to fight, stand this truth is all plays a big part of it. All right. So this truth requires contending, man. Not getting cast away. You don't get cast away because a lot of guys that fell out, man, ain't contend for this truth, man. Okay. So that's why the scriptures say, many are called, few are chosen. All right. So we got to continue to fight, and we all going through struggles and difficulties as well. So we got to continue to be strong. On the way to be strong, we got to pray, we got to fast, man. That's the main two weapons right there, spiritually weapons. All right, so I'm going to go to Sirach. I'm going to go to Sirach chapter 4 and 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Awashai shall fight for thee. Okay? That's it. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Awashai shall fight for thee. So the only thing we have is only fight we have is truth. All right? The only fight that we have, you know what I'm saying, that we Yahweh Bashim Awashai protecting us, man. We ain't gotta, be carnal and be, trying to do it yourself, man. All we got to do is strive for the truth. Let the word strive real quick. Now, to strive means to make a great, persistent effort to achieve a goal, often overcoming significant difficulties, or struggle. Okay? So, like I just mentioned before, man, we all going through difficulties and struggles in this walk, in this truth, implying intense exertion and dedication, So it all plays part of it, man. So we got to continue to strive for this truth, man. All right? It says strive, okay? Contend for the truth unto death, and the Lord Yahweh Shai shall fight for thee. All right? It's all a struggle, it's all with difficulties and, and all tests and trials and stuff like that, man. All right. So don't be the guy to get pulled out this thing, man. Don't be like the rest of the guys that fell out, because this is not the time to go back into this world, man. Hold on for a second. This is 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 5 and 6. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Lord, of the Most High. It says that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Right? So you're supposed to cast all your care for him. Okay? Because the Lord, he's a jealous power, man. Because majority of you niggas, you casting your care upon a fucking woman, and casting your care on this world, man. That's not the way to go. All right? It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because the adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may devour. All right? It says, whom resist steadfast in faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Okay? So Satan actively trying to pull you out. Okay? You gotta, we all gotta, continue to fight, man. Continue to fight and stand in truth. Like I just mentioned just now, man, fasting and praying, man. That's the only way to stay in this truth. That's the only way to keep these demons off you. All right? Being around the brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? Be around the Akim and stuff like that. Not be sucked into this world. Because if you get sucked into this world, it's over with. The Lord will cast you out to the wolves, man. Okay? You got to be steadfast in the faith. Okay? Then you got spiritual demon Satan, and you got Esau too, because Esau trying to devour us as well. All right. So we gotta be sober and be vigilant, man. We gotta keep on. Let's look up the word vigilant, man. Vigilant, man. We gotta stay vigilant.
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo.
It's a Greek, right? To watch. Give strict attention, to be cautious, active. And it said to take heed lest through remission and indolence from destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. So we got to be watchmen, all right? You got to give strict attention, you know. Can't be docile and oblivious to what's happening out here, man, because we in high times, man, all right? That's what Romans 13:11, you know, we got to wake up out of sleep. You know, this ain't the time to be, you know, being willy-nilly and, you know, walking around here, you know, docile and, you know, oblivious. You know, can't be oblivious out here, man. You got to be very vigilant. Say be sober, you know, be clear-minded. We got to stay clear-minded, man. All right? Say be vigilant because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking who he may devour. Okay? So whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Okay, so don't be the one that Satan actively trying to pull you out, man. You know, because if you get sucked into this world, it's it. It's over with. All right. All right. So, you know, because understand, you know, the scriptures say the saints are worn out. All right, saints getting worn out, man. Give me let me get Daniel 7:25. It said he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given to his hand until the time and times and dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, but they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. Okay? See, this system is designed to exhaust you. Okay? So we in Esau's system. Changing laws, changing times, man. Like for instance, man, January 1st, not a new year, man. March is the beginning of the new year because everything is dead in the winter. Okay? You know, he changing times, man. All right. You know, this is not a new year. You know, the new year, like I said, is in the springtime between March and April, man. Okay. That's why the system is designed to exhaust you. All right. Because the system is designed to exhaust us, man. Because we work 9 to 5. You know, we paying these goddamn bills. Okay. You know, a lot of houses getting foreclosed, you know, people getting homeless and all that stuff. It's all kind of shit going on, man. You know, because Esau designed this system to exhaust us, man. You know, because he's wearing out the saints. Okay. So we got to, that's why it's a fight. It's a fight. It's a continuous fight. You know, you know, Esau raised the rent high as fuck. It's going to get even more higher. You know what I'm saying? So all we need is Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, in these last days. He the one that's going to get us out of this hellhole that we in, man. Yeah, man. So we get worn out here, man. You know, brothers' cars breaking down and got to pay thousands of dollars and to fix it. You know, get worn out. You know, that's why the system is designed. You know, because the system is America. Go to word system means pit. You know, it's a pit. America's a fucking pit, man. It's designed to exhaust us, man. All right. It's real, man. You know, because once you gain this truth, you realize that this place ain't shit, man. All right, this place ain't nothing, man. This world ain't nothing. The people in this world ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Only ones that the Lord concerned about is the hopeful elect, man. The elect, okay? All right. I'm gonna go to Matthew 24:12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And you see that out here, man. You see people waxing cold, waxing worse, you know, going against one another, you know, backdooring one another, you know. People are waxing cold out here, man. It's getting real evil and dark out here, man. All right. It said, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay. So we got to endure, man. All right. You know. So we got to keep on contending. That's me enduring. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Say this, in this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. See, that's why the Lord got the prophets out here prophesying. All right. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you got the internet, you know what I'm saying, as a heavy lifting. All right. There's a lot of people waxing cold, man, you know, and many fell away, but the elect will fight through. We're going to fight through this, man. You know, the elect is going to fight through because the Lord knows that the elect is going to be saved. All right. Because I don't know if I'm going to be saved, but I'm going to keep doing the work. I'm going to keep continuing to fight. Okay. That's the only way, man. I just can't say I'm the elect. I don't know if I'm the elect or not. All right. So only way to you know, pray for salvation and continue to contend for salvation is continue to stay in this truth, man. Okay. So this is it. This basically is the, you know, continue. It says condition of the battle. All right. Let me go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and 56. All right, this 2nd Ezra 7 and 56. It says, for a while we lived and committed iniquity. We considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Suffer after death, right? It said, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Okay. It says that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. All right. It says, for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Okay. This truth, you know what I'm saying, is basically a battlefield, man. All right. Endurance and prove your endurance, basically prove your election, man. That's why we gotta continue to fight. So if you want to prove your election's sake, we gotta endure. That's all we gotta do is endure, man. All right. So we gotta strive for the mastery. One of my favorite scriptures. I'm gonna close out too. This is this 1 Corinthians. What's that? 9 and 24. 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. All right, the kingdom of heaven. All right, that's the prize, man. All right. So run that ye may obtain. Okay. So we got to keep pushing this word. Got to continue to fight. Got to stand his truth. You got to do what the Lord say. All right. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. All right. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I. All right. So it says, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. All right. So we don't want to be a castaway, man. All right. So we got to continue to fight. All right. So we must discipline our mind and spirit, okay, to strive for mastery. So all discipline plays a part too. Okay. So if you're running a race, man, you be first place. You're trying to be first place in the race. You break that tag, man. You be the first one to break the tag. That's what we're trying to be. Better be the first one to break that tag. You know, because everybody running and you in first place, and that's what we striving to be in first place, man. We Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. All right. So hope this lesson, is edifying, man. So with that, man, I'd like to get all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kakadash. Shalom. Till next time.